Hello, my lovely sunshiners. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about something that affects all of our lives at various points, and it's the topic of managing anger. Now, anger is a natural emotion, but yet it holds so much power to either strengthen or challenge our relationships and inner peace. Now, sometimes we can be one of these people who fly off the handle at the slightest thing, and we're screaming and shouting and going mad because things are not going right. Or we could be one of these that bubbles and simmers away and it just bubbles along. And then all of a sudden it's poof, and you explode, and the whole world sort of comes crashing down because you've really lost your temper. And your anger has come to the forefront. So for me, I'm a bubble and boil. I don't tend to let things get to me that much. Probably because I've done a lot of inner work on myself over the last 5 years. So I don't tend to let things get me angry. Um, you know, but I've experienced it from both sides. So my ex-husband was someone who just got angry, like snap your finger, and he was angry, and he was up there, and he was kicking off and throwing things and lashing out. um and then on the other hand, I've got my husband who I'm with now, and he's just beautiful and doesn't get angry, he doesn't shout, he doesn't get cross about nothing. He's just always on a calm. So but yeah, anger affects us all, and sometimes it can get to a point where it's a bit uncontrollable, and we feel that it's getting just too difficult to manage, and you seem to be angry about everything all the time. And people are always saying to you, what are you so angry about? What's the matter with you? And you can't really pinpoint what it is. So let's settle in together, and perhaps with your favorite drink, and we can discuss how we channel our anger in ways that are healing and constructive. So, which camp do you fall into? Are you a person who gets angry straight away and you blow? Or are you a bubble and boiler? Or do you not get angry at all about anything? Um, which one are you? Just let me know what type of person you are with the angry situation. So we have to understand anger, and we have to understand our anger. So let's acknowledge the feeling of anger. It's completely normal, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's an emotional signal, like a flare sent up into the sky, telling us something important about our interactions or our needs. It might indicate that our personal boundaries are being pushed, that our expectations haven't been met, or even that something within us needs a gentle bit of attention and care. Anger is one of these things that people will say, oh, you shouldn't be getting angry and you should suppress it. But I don't think you should. And I don't think that people, I'm not saying you should be angry and you should fire and having a go at people and whatnot. But if something's really bothering you, then I think you should be able to say what it is that's bothering you without you losing your temper. So let's look at recognizing anger triggers. We'll all have something that can trigger anger. Just because I don't get angry all the time, something sometimes does wind me up, and I'll just say to Jason, that really got on my wick, that. Anyway, it could be something. Rudeness is probably one of the things that gets on my nerves, and people who tell lies. That's another thing I don't like. And if I know that it's a blatant lie, then that really bothers me. And sometimes I'll just keep it inside myself and I won't say anything because I don't want to upset anybody. But then again, I think, no, I'm going to have to say something because it's just going to bubble and boil away inside me if I don't. And, it's better to get it out than keep it all in. So we have to navigate our feelings of anger wisely. We must first understand that triggers, what triggers our feelings. This varies from each of us and often ties back to past experiences. Deeply held values or current stresses can also cause triggers in anger. Spend some time reflecting on situations that stir up your anger. What are the common themes? Understanding these can help us address and react more thoughtfully. Clients will come to me and they'll say, I'm angry all the time. And I say, well, okay. I mean, it's not physically possible to be angry all the time. It's just not. But when we start talking and I'll say to them, okay, you said that you're angry all the time. So what does that mean? How does that manifest itself? And it tends to be that they're usually angry at something that someone else is doing to them. So it's usually a partner. It could be something they've said, something they've done. It could be something like, my husband or my wife comes home from work, takes the shoes off and leaves the shoes in the room, or, don't clean up after themselves when they've made a brew, and don't put the toilet seat down. And although these things are quite tiny things, sometimes it can, instill a really massive amount of anger in it. Where if you just talked about it or said things, like, oh, Jeff keep leaving the toilet seat up. It's cold on my bum. Or, so, and trying to make it into a funny situation as opposed to it being an angry one all the time, then you can get your point across without it turning into a row. So here are some of the techniques that we can use to manage anger. We can do deep breathing. So when you feel the wave of anger start to rise, turn to your breath again. Deep mindful breathing can be an anchor. So it calms our mind and it eases the intensity of the emotion. So try this with me now. Inhale slowly for 4 counts. Hold for 4. And exhale for 4. Now, can you feel how that would instantly bring down your anger levels from being right up here to being a bit further down here? It's not going to make your anger levels go away completely, but it will bring them down. Another thing too that I say to clients is try and think about what you're going to say before you say it. So, if you're going to get angry at your partner, husband, wife, children, whatever, because they've left something around, just think about, is it really worth you getting angry about that thing when you could have done it in a more calming way? So try and think about it. Think about what you're going to say. And also think about, how is it going to affect you when you get angry and you've said these things? How is that going to affect you and how you feel? Because if you're going to go on the loop of, I've had a go at them, I've now calmed down and I feel really shitty and guilty about it, which then makes you angry because you feel shitty and guilty, you then keep going round and round in a loop. So try and think about what you're going to say before you say it. And is it really worth you getting all worked up about it? If, is it something that you could just try and speak about without it getting into a heated discussion? And this really leads me on to pause and reflect. So give yourself a moment to pause before reacting. This can change the course of the conversation. This small break allows us to collect our thoughts and manage our emotions more effectively. In that pause, ask yourself, will my words improve the situation or hurt it? This can prevent a storm before it brews. So that's really just what was talking about before, where you could just think about what you're going to say before you say it. because I can guarantee that a lot of time you say something in anger and then you feel guilty for days afterwards because you kept thinking, I shouldn't have really said that. Next, we have express, don't suppress. And this one is about us letting out the feelings in a healthy way, because keeping anger bottled up inside can lead to a bigger problem down the road. So you could find a trusted friend, you could write it in a diary, you could do it as a journal, or if you feel that your anger is really getting out of control, you know, then you can talk to somebody professional about it. So I'll put a link somewhere around here. So if you are feeling that you are stuck in this anger, guilt mode, then you can always give me a ring and we can see if there's something else that's actually going on. Because articulating our emotions can turn the tangled thorny bushes into a path of clear understanding. And what I mean by that is it just makes it less of a battlefield, you know, and more of a calm ripple, as opposed to it being massive waves that are just crashing and making everybody feel miserable. The other thing that you can do too, when you are feeling angry all the time or something really gets you got and, you know, you just want to vent at somebody, then you can try physical activity. And, you know, engaging in some kind of activity is a wonderful outlet for excess energy, including anger. And whether it's a gentle stroll, a yoga session, or an energetic dance, moving your body helps dissipate the tension. This isn't just good for our physical health, but it's also good for our emotional health as well. And I know if you're in the middle of an argument, and this really isn't about arguments, this is about the instant getting cross because someone's left a teaspoon on the side instead of putting it in sink, or getting cross with your boss at work because he's just put something else on your desk that he wants you to do. It's that type of thing. So I'm not saying that you break out in, you know, some version of YMCA. This is just about taking yourself out of the situation for a few minutes, go for a walk, go for a coffee break, go for whatever it is that you'd be able to do at that time, and just make you, it just makes you calm down, and, you know, gives you that bit of breathing space between you firing and saying something that you're going to regret, or you just calming down and then coming back, and then you can say it in a calm way. Because I'm not saying that you know, you can't express your anger about something, but if you can do it in a more calming way, it's better for you and it's better for your mindset. You know, so as I said before, sometimes carrying the weight is just too much to handle alone, and that's perfectly okay. You know, quite a lot of clients will come to me and say, I've got anger issues, but I generally find that anger is the behavior that comes through something that's going on with them, you know, inside themselves. There's some issue around that, because anger just comes out as a behavior. So trying to figure out why you're getting angry and why that behavior is manifesting, you know, is things that we can talk about during therapy sessions. Another thing that you could do as well is you could join the group, Your Time to Shine community. And in our little corner of the world, our little corner of Facebook, you can come in there and you can ask for help. You can come in there and say, you know, that you're getting angry and fed up and whatever about this, that, and the other. And you'll find that you'll get some kind words, some empathy, some love and understanding. And even if that only comes from me, you know, if we can build this community where people feel safe, where they want to be able to express things and, you know, get some clarity sometimes, I think, on what it is that they think is going on with the mind. You know, and to just be able to say to somebody, is it really worth me getting angry about this, and getting some feedback on it could be a massive help, you know, for you and the person that you're going to vent the anger to. So use the group. Again, I'll put the link in somewhere so that you can join the group if you're not already in it, and utilize the space. It's a free space where you can say things and ask for advice and that sort of thing. So use that space. You know, and let's hold each other up and move forward together, sharing our experiences and lessons learned. I'm here for you, and I know you're here for each other. So you can also share strategies that you may have used when you felt angry and you've done something to calm that down. You can also share the challenges that you've faced. You know, let's make this a space where it's for people who just have a safe place to be, and they can talk and say things without judgment. So thanks for listening. I'm going to send you lots of love, lots of affection, and I want you to all keep shining brightly, and I want you to nurture the peace within inside yourself and spread that love and that calmness around. And I shall speak to you all again soon. Bye for now.